Good morning.
It is morning still. Sometimes I have to check myself. Good morning. It is January 29th, 2021. Just so when there's thousands of videos, people can tell when we made this one. So, how are we doing? I said in my morning pages this morning that I want to feel different about Roger. And the message came that I need to check my mouth. Which then led me to a place of curiosity and looking at owning my pieces in our relationship and not having excuses, but just standing and owning my pieces. And one of those pieces is I have not always been kind. And for that, I am sorry. It's, we can explain it however we want to explain it, but I know that my trauma still stands in the way, and one of the pieces that I came up with was, and we're going to do a little visual effect of, I have to, some of the letters are correct, some of them are backwards. I'm dyslexic when I have to make the words backwards. So, trauma glasses. I have to continually remind myself to remove them. And I put them on just here. And Roger's like, well, you can't see. I said, that's the whole point. Is when I have my trauma glasses on, I can't see. I can't see him. I can't see me. I can't see the rest of the world. So every day, maybe for months, I'm going to have to consciously remove my trauma glasses in order to see. And then that led to a discussion. What did that lead to? Oh, the job that you took.
Can I share this first?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
She's diving right in, and I just wanted to share something real quick before we get heavy.
That's not heavy.
I'm the lighthearted one. So I tell myself. So for those of you that don't know, we live on Charette Creek Road in Marthasville, Missouri, which is this beautiful creek that's bigger than I had a buddy years ago. He's like, Roger, that's not a creek, that's a river. It's about 40 feet across. Yeah. Flows pretty much all year.
When it's up, it's
much bigger. When it's up, it is a river. But at any rate, so this morning as we were driving this direction, we were gifted with the energy of 4 young bald eagles on the creek, and we sat there and they looked at us and they did some flying and whatnot. So anyway, for those of you that don't know, there are, I know that's backwards. I don't have my trauma glass backwards thing going on, but anyway, so this is a book about the medicine cards that we use in there. So I just wanted to share the energy of the eagle, because what those animals in our lives do is they bring us some type of energy that we can choose to use or not. And I read this when we got here. I'm just going to read a little bit, but eagle, fly high, touch great spirit, share your medicine, touch me, honor me, so that I may know you too. And one of the things that it goes through, and it talks about the eagle energy, and that's the little thing I read, but eagle represents, and we thought this was extremely poignant when we read it, so that's why I'm sharing it. Eagle represents a state of grace achieved through hard work, understanding, and a completion of the tests of initiation which result in the taking of one's personal power, which is exactly where Amelia and I are at.
Yes.
It is only through the trial of experiencing the lows in life as well as the highs, and through the trial of trusting one's connection to the Great Spirit, that the right to use the essence of eagle medicine is earned. So I just wanted to share that because that felt like a good starting point. And so you were segueing
Yes.
into now that
Your epiphany this morning about your job.
yeah, the so you were talking about the
We
control.
have a control dynamic.
Yeah.
The control dynamic that I have lived with that I now want to change is I'm up here and Roger's down here, and because of my trauma and the way I grew up, I need to be in control in order to feel safe. And so if I get the jump on that, then I feel better. I function better in my life. Um, and I feel safe. And that is no place to be living. One, the shield that I have to carry is extremely heavy and I'm tired of carrying it. Um, he came up with the whole alcohol addiction piece is when you're under the influence of alcohol, you're generally not in control. And so I found that very interesting this morning when we were talking that I probably have used alcohol to take myself out of that control place, um, which is really dangerous because I was driving and drinking. Not smart and not what I'm going to do anymore. So the control piece of I'm in control. I tell you what to do. I tell you where to go. I tell you, I control everything. And what I want to do is move it like this. And what this is going to require of me is to see him as an equal, but also know that if he moves this way, I can stand steady, and I'm smart. That's a thing from my childhood, stupid girl. So I am smart and intelligent. And if he moves too close this way, what I have to practice is setting good boundaries and saying, "Okay, buddy, you gotta back up a little bit. That made me feel, or I would feel more comfortable if you would, take a couple steps back." Using my voice, finding my voice, um, not having this overpowering control piece going on for my safety. I have to now learn that I am in control of me. I don't need to be in control of him. And I can set good boundaries and I can use my voice to express to him my feelings, um, so that I can still feel safe. Uh, so then, I don't know when you had your epiphany about your job.
Well, this morning when we were talking about the whole control issue,
Oh, that's right.
it was funny because so the bottom line is she can't control me at all if I'm 500 miles away, and so that's one of the ways that I escaped the control. And understand that when she says control, there's a lot of dynamics in that. She controls the intimacy. She controls, well, she obviously controls the money because I just go make it and she's got to figure out where it all goes. But she also controls just the, what am I trying to say? The overall connection. And if I were to, which we talked about this morning, if I even just ask her how her day was, there are times when she gets, has in the past gotten like an edge.
I think it's anxiety.
Yeah, well, I don't know what it
a
is.
form of anxiety of you're getting too close. You don't get to ask me what I'm doing. You don't get to control me in any way. Um,
And then I think that was extremely exacerbated when I would ask her how her day was, and she'd been drinking, and to be honest, I was totally oblivious to that. Um,
I hit it pretty well.
she hit it real well, and so I think she would be even more like
Bite your head off.
Yeah,
Shut up.
like so it got to the point where I was like, I don't guess I'm not even supposed to know how her day is because all she does is come at me with this
Venom.
kind of anger.
I would call it venom.
Yeah. Um, so I go about my business, and
So it's no wonder he took on the job that he did in order to get away from me, which I wouldn't want to be around me either. Uh, it's not been pleasant all the time, either way for either one of us. Um, so
but it's funny too because the facade is people think we have this have had this.
well, they needed to believe in the fantasy for themselves that there are couples out there that can make it, that there are couples out there that can, and the reality is this is our way of trying to make it to the rocking chairs. And people come up with ideas of people so that they don't have to look at their own lives. And we do have a wonderful relationship. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. And people, they watch movies and watch TV and read books so that they can live a fantasy world so that they don't have to look at their own life. And I think people did that with us and maybe still do with us and our family, that we've got it all together. And
we are blessed to have 5 children, none of which ever were in trouble to any degree.
No.
None of which ever.
And they're now as adults
and alcohol and all that kind of stuff,
working out their things. And Kyle has a girlfriend, and Cody has a girlfriend, and all the dynamics are different. But what I think we can celebrate is that right now today, we come to the table as our honest, authentic selves. And
it's time for Roger to get some of the control back.
He needs his control.
Yes.
I don't want to.
And I don't say that as I'm not. Anybody that knows me knows I would not be overbearing by any stretch. But there's a certain degree that, like, we finally, the other day, laid out all our finances and looked at them. Because all I've been doing is chasing this elusive just
carrot?
Yeah, the
the golden cookie.
Yeah, the golden snitch. That's what it is.
Yeah.
In Harry Potter, I've been chasing that sucker, and it's elusive. And so she and I sat down for the first time in years to really look at where we are financially.
Yeah.
And
pull our heads out of the sand.
It is what it is. Could be worse, could be better. But.
To go back, and I'll own some more of my stuff. At some point, I can't remember if it was at Thanksgiving or maybe it was. Oh, I think it was the first meeting of Highlander where everybody was involved in there. That I have realized that I have controlled the emotional state of the family. The emotional state of the kids growing up, his emotional state. I can almost feel like if one of the kids, and I feel like it was, well, any one of the 5, I think Caleb and Tristan kind of just got drug along. When you have 5 kids, it's not easy to give the emotional attention to each one of them every day, which I would like to do would like to have done. But I can feel like if a child came to me and was saying, mommy, this is blah, 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 I can just see like, no, we're not going to do that right now. And shut them down, which leaves them as adults having to do some of their emotional work if they choose to do it.
And that's okay. And one of the things that I think I'm just interjecting, because all of these negative things that we're referencing, they all happen for a reason. Everything's on purpose. And, the Byron Katie, it is what it is until it isn't. And that's why, so we've raised our children. They're all healthy adults. Tristan is the youngest, and he's 24, I think. I think. Yes. Isn't that right? He just turned 24. So we're looking for the rocking chair program, and doesn't mean we're going to, I'll probably never retire. That word just seems kind of, I never liked retreads on my trucks either, so.
We redefine what that word means. It doesn't mean what society says it means for us.
Yeah, it's just the next step. But at any rate,
phase of the journey.
So anyway, that's kind of the whole.
It's kind of where we were at this morning, and looking at stuff, and then. Yeah,
you were gonna. There was something you noted in there. But the bottom line is, we're not looking at all this as negative. I'm excited about the opportunity to grow personally. That's what the Eagle medicine is bringing in there.
Yes.
For both of us, we were both together and we both got it. So that individuation thing was just emphasized by the universe, Great Spirit, and the bottom line is, I look forward to the next 30 years with Amelia, not without, but first, we got to do this individuation, and that's where we were talking about the.
Well, in her book, and we were going to try and watch our video last week before we watched this one, but we're at the building and the service isn't very good, so we didn't get to watch that one.
Just hoping that we're not repeating too much, but I don't think did we touch on the judge and the victim?
I don't know. In this book that we're reading, which we really like this book over the other book, but she talks about the judge and the victim, and you can't have the judge without the victim. And I'm like, well, I'm not a victim, but I do have a judge. So I had to get real with myself again, not telling those little lies. If you're watching my other playlist of my other videos, you know that since I had my coaching thing with Katerina, I have found out that I lie to myself, little lies here and there. And so I have to get real as to where that victim shows up, and I think the conclusion that I came to this week, and there's so much work going on, and is she hides really well, because if I allow myself to think that I am a victim, then I will become a victim again, and that is a really scary place to be for me. So I tell myself the story that, I'm in control, and I, I'm not a victim. I don't give into that. I don't believe that. But according to their stuff, is the judge and the victim play with each other. And if you have one, you have the other. And if you have, the victim, then you have the judge. If you have a judge, then you have a victim. And then it talks about in here, this chapter that we're reading now is breaking up with your judge and your victim, and how to take action. I like it's got some exercises in the back of the chapter. So it talks about committing to yourself, which is exactly where we're at and what we're doing. And then I wanted to read. Okay, so there's two different things that Roger and I need to journal on and that we're working on. And one is, how do we nourish ourselves? We get into relationships and we immediately give over, ourselves to the other person, trying to be what they want us to be. I'm trying to find that one little piece that.
I don't know what you're looking for.
I know. Breaking up with your judge. Oh, this one. In our first forays into relationships, for better or worse, many of us make a series of commitments that can set the stage for serious difficulties later on. And they say we commit to keeping someone special happy. I've done that. We commit to telling our special someone what they want to hear. I've done that. We commit to looking and acting a certain way, all for the benefit of our special someone. We commit to being the person we imagine that special someone wants us to be. So I've done all of those. And then it goes into, so nourishing ourselves, that's one thing we're working on. And then the other one is this chapter that is about claiming what you want more of in your life. And so that's all that individuation piece. Not what do he and I want, because both he and I are really good dreamers and we like to dream together. And, you know, what do we want in the future? What do we want for us as a couple? What did we want as a family? And now it's what does he want and what do I want? And I have to be honest that when he talks about doing him and going over there and becoming all of this lovely, wonderful person, I get scared. And it's like I have to try and control all of that. And that's what I've done most of my life. And I don't want to do that anymore, which is that great paradox, because I want him to be an individual. I want him to develop his own sense of self. And I want him to find out what brings him joy. Him in and of himself, and me in and of myself. And I think I've had more time. He's been go, 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 make money, make money, make money, so our heads stay above water. So the other thing that we're working on is claiming what we want more of in our lives. And I think one of the first things I wrote down was just peace. I just want peace. And then it says committing to another. You need to commit to show up, to be present, to listen, to be open-minded, to be willing to grow, to be kind, to be loving, to do our best, and to help each other with mutual respect. And I think I'm going to copy that off and put that on our refrigerator and keep it someplace where I see it every day. So that's kind of where we are this week. Is there anything else you want to
No, I think
add?
I feel complete.
So,
as far as I know.
Subscribe, share, like. I always forget those with these videos. Comment below. I have no idea like how to really do a YouTube channel. I mean, I'm learning and I'm doing. It's okay. I'm taking baby steps. All right. Well, we will see you next Friday. If you have any questions, leave those below too, and we'll answer them below. Your voice is so low. Low, below. All right. See ya next Friday. Bye.
Peace out.